Hi, this is Andrew Barbanek in Rosezone, and uh, our app is called the Card Counter. The idea was to create a game that would help people learn how to count cards and get better at counting cards. If you're unfamiliar with what counting cards is, it's a something you do in blackjack, and you assign values to certain cards, and then you keep a running count in your head. Uh, and depending on what the count is, you change your bet, and it's supposed to give you an advantage over the house. So the idea was for us to get better at counting cards and to help teach other people to count cards. And so yeah,
So, uh, so I'm gonna explain the steps we took to make this app. So we first started off by making the user interface. As you can see, if you hit the hide button, the count will hide, and then if you hit the show button, the count will show again. The line that keeps hiding and showing is where the count is supposed to be. We really didn't have much time to figure out the count part, but yeah, that's our user interface. And then the API, which Andrew worked on mostly, is the card deck ID that you see in the middle. Yeah, I'll let him.
yeah. So obviously this is far from complete, but we originally were trying to show the image of the card from the API, and we spent hours on that in office hours and seeing multiple people, and no one knew how to do it. We Googled all kinds of stuff and whatever. But and then we moved on to just trying to display the value of the card that the API would give out, like a king, queen, jack, etc. That was also complicated. We were unable to do that. So I went to office hours again for that. Whatever. Uh, so yeah, just to prove that we implemented an API, even though we didn't get it to do everything we wanted it to. We displayed the deck ID, which is when we call this uh, shuffle deck method in from the API. It shoots out the deck ID here, and so yeah, we just displayed that. And then we were supposed to. So the idea, we were gonna have the deck shuffle. And this is all function from the API, and then we were supposed to have our game run through here, through draw a card. When we were gonna, you call draw a card, whatever, and it using the deck ID, it draws a random card from the deck, and then the count was supposed to update in here depending on the value of the card. But we just couldn't get anything to display correctly on the screen, so we couldn't get this to work properly. But yeah.
So as you can tell from our final product, we ran into a lot of problems along the way. The main problem we had was, since we weren't given much instructions, we have to go on Google and look at a lot of tutorials. So, and every time we tried copy and pasting some of their codes, uh, a lot of the times it was out of context, so it was hard for us to figure out the missing parts and try to make it work. But the TAs helped us there, and it kind of works.
Yeah. So while the while the function of the app does not completely work, uh, we are close in terms of our uh, logic and algorithm. That we really just have to figure out how to display the stuff from the API onto the screen. So yeah, so in the future, if we have time, I'd like to eventually figure out how to do all that, and then too, once we, if just for future ideas, once we would actually get the card to display, or the value of the card to display, then we could would like to figure out like how long to take between each card being drawn, and we can maybe improve the game by making like different settings, like medium, hard, easy, which would basically just change the speed of how fast the cards are drawn. So if you're a beginner, it would go slow and stuff. But I mean, we never got to that point because we didn't quite figure out how to display the values and stuff from the API. I don't know, couldn't exactly find the bugs either, but yeah.
So in conclusion, from this final project, we learned a lot about implementing a user interface, and then we also learned a lot about API, even though we technically didn't finish all the stuff we wanted to do. We still were able to use the API to get the deck ID and then display it in our app. So
Yeah, so we just to yeah, all right. Yeah, that's thank you for your time. We did learn a lot from this. We would have liked to actually get the app functioning, but we clearly have a lot to learn. We did learn a lot about APIs, and we learned how to do some things with it, but yeah, that's it. And we don't understand how to do the user interface now. But yeah, thank you. That's our somewhat app. Bye.